Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the Fake Ass Book Club. It's your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Hey, Moni.
How are you?
You know, I'm just doing what I like and liking what I do.
Okay. Well, and you look cute. You got new hair.
Thank you. I do have new hair.
I like it.
And you look cute, too.
Thank
and you. have like a new attitude.
I don't, but same crusty one from last time. But, you know what I'm saying? We're here nonetheless, you guys, to entertain and to, you know what I mean? Inform and do all the things. So, welcome back. Let's announce our topic for this week, friend. Sure. I'm pretty excited about this.
Sure.
This was a recommendation that you made. I feel like a lot of them are. I like that.
I consume a lot of media.
I love suggestions. It's very, very nice. And so
I have so many more.
Thank you. And we'll see, this is why we're here. This is great. It's a great combo. This week, you guys, we are going to be reviewing Katera of Punishment Island. If you don't know what that is, this is a show on Netflix, and it is African Folktales Reimagined. And it's a series of short films, and it's, like I said, produced through Netflix, but it's a partnership with UNESCO, and they were launching a global project. The African Folktales Reimagined short film collection features a variety of African on-screen talent and stories by emerging African storytellers from Mauritania, Tanzania, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and South Africa. Almost said America. But I didn't. And lots of talent there, untapped, I would say. So I was really excited. This was really dope.
Good. I'm glad.
So
okay,
you.
So you always take a risk when you recommend something because
True.
People could be like, oh,
Ew.
You liked that.
That's
but
true.
I was pretty confident with this one.
It was good.
Okay.
I liked it. I was excited to do it. So yeah. Let's see if I have anything about. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. I feel like I gave you a little bit of background, guys, about what the actual series is. We're gonna be talking about the first one. For that one, Katera of Punishment Island. She's abandoned on an island. A woman grieving the loss of her baby exacts revenge on the powerful man who put her there. So that's the premise of our story today. And before we get into it, we should dedicate this thing. So hands over your hearts, everyone. We want to thank our patrons, you guys. Thank you so much. All of our supporters. If you listen regularly, thank you so much. Honestly, we couldn't even, I don't know how to thank you. This is something that surprises us every week.
Like, I mean,
what?
I'm not surprised.
I am.
I'm surprised
like,
we're
really?
not more popular.
You know what? At this point, me too. I think it's just marketing.
Okay.
Holler at us if you got that marketing strategy or something, you know what I'm saying?
Not being famous
or
really
some free
hurts
time
us.
to help us.
If we were famous, more people would watch.
That's if you were famous.
If we were famous.
If we were famous.
Yes, like group effort.
Come on
We're
back.
not doing everything we could to be famous.
It's true. We're
back
not.
to the dedication.
That part, yeah. So, yeah, dedication. Also to, I would say Beyonce, man. Like, her whole concert was a whole vibe this weekend. A woman in her 40s doing what she loves, dancing. The show that she produced and performed was amazing. I got to see Blue Ivy. Shout out to you. That was a surprise. It was just a beautifully produced show, visually stunning, and a lot of good vibes. So thank you for that. I needed that this past weekend. I was trying not to have my soul broken, and it helped. Yes. So what about you, friends?
Yeah, big shout out to, or big yes and to that.
Thank you.
And my dedication this week is going out to the Harder Brunch crew.
That's what's up.
And that was awesome. And for their adult summer camp that they're running this summer. Like, are you childish? Would you like to just like maybe play kickball and canoe and swim and, you know?
Depends on who it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With
some friends, some
with
cool
some friends. Yeah. Like, why not?
I'd do it with them. I'd like to do that.
I feel like it would be super fun. So, yeah, this one's going out to them. And just, summer fun. I feel like summer's really starting. Today was like some really wild weather. And I feel like, summer has officially started now.
I feel like you're late to the show, friend.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, well, dedication over. I like it. I like summer whenever it starts, for the record. Okay, I feel like with this hot ass weather though, I have felt just squarely in the middle of summer for some weeks now.
I still feel
but
cold.
I feel you.
I feel like I spend the majority of my time being cold.
Wow, Well, you need to get outside because it's been hot out there.
But that's the thing, like sometimes it'll only be like 60 degrees outside and it's still like freezing cold. Like, when the sun goes down, it gets cooler.
Okay, let's move on, friend.
All right.
Okay,
We're not here talking about, it's like, I'm cold.
It's like, what? We know, baby. We know that baby code. Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys, again, we're going to be talking about Katera of Punishment Island. We start off on an abandoned island. This woman is grieving the loss of her baby. And this is a story about where she is trying to exact revenge on this person. And I'm going to let Kat do kind of a play-by-play because I feel like, or give us a little background about the
I would like to talk about the director.
Director, let's do it.
Lukman Ali. I'm just going to read directly from Wikipedia. Lukman Ali, born June 1st, 1990, is a Ugandan cinematographer, screenwriter, film director, producer, and graphic designer. His directorial debut was Monday, followed up by Bad Mexican, released in 2017. The film was nominated in various festivals, including the Amkula International Film Festival. His other major films include The Girl in a Yellow Jumper, The Blind Date, and 16 Rounds.
All right. I like it.
But yeah, so, oh boy, this story, it drew me in immediately. We start with this gorgeous, wide shot of a man, fishing in a canoe. And we see him hear something and he goes towards this. Well, no, actually it gives us the little, because it kind of reminded me of the beginning of Black Panther, where it gives you the exposition, just kind of the backstory real quick. And they're just saying back in the day, or not back in the day, there's an island where they send unmarried girls who get pregnant and you're basically chained to a tree and are just left to starve to death on this island.
Well, and also there's this huge ball and chain on your ankle. So even if you were to get free, it's still stuck on there. So.
Yeah, if you tried to swim back, you drown to death. They were really serious about punishing them. Punishment Island. So, so when our story starts, yes, we see this fisherman. He hears this noise. So he hears the girls that have been chained to a tree. He frees them, puts them on his boat, trying to get them out of there. There's one girl who refuses to leave. She's, pretty traumatized. And he has to kind of pick her up and carry her out.
Why is she traumatized, friend?
So basically she was forced to miscarry and then sent to this island by who I'm going to call Gregory the Warlord.
He was terrible.
He wasn't great. And so she's saved by the fisherman, and she's kind of in his little makeshift village that him and his mom have made as sort of a refugee village for the girls they're able to rescue from Punishment Island. And she's like, well, I'm going back. I need to get, she runs into, Katera runs into a guy from her village who's like, hey, they got your boy, you're the guy who knocked her up. Gregory's got him. He's going to execute him in the morning. She's like, all right, I got to be there to free him. Fisherman's like, I don't think that's a good idea. She's like, you can come or not come, whatever. So they go run the thing on Gregory. And because this is taking place in maybe post colonial Uganda, because they're all speaking English.
Yeah, and they're going in and out. But
yeah, they're going in and out of so, and then just the way the girl was dressed, the type of dress she had on, maybe. Wait, when was the machine gun invented? Because that's the thing, they end up trying to run up on him with their little shotgun, but he's got the prototype type for the first machine gun, and he lets. Oh, sorry, spoilers. And he lets loose.
1884.
1884. So I would say this was probably the story takes place approximately around this time in Uganda. Would you say?
I mean, you're not going to get me to disagree. I have literally no idea.
I mean, well, a lot of it's subtext. A lot of it doesn't come out and say
I
stuff.
feel like you should. I feel comfortable going with your estimation on this. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for riding with me on that one.
Yeah.
So it ends up, fisherman ends up sacrificing. Oh, because it turns out fisherman and Gregory have backstory. And stuff. So fisherman ends up sacrificing his life so Katera is able to kill Gregory, and she does.
And what did you like so much about this story? So you saw it and you were like, yo, we gotta talk about it. What was it?
Well, for me, it was the misogyny. I'm always struck by how far people will go to punish women. Like, I don't think we should murder girls for getting pregnant.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an interesting stance,
And
friend.
so it got me digging because it was like, this really happened. Like, this isn't just a story. Like,
So what do you know about the origin of the
I don't
story?
know about the origin per se. I just like listened to one woman's story. The BBC interviewed a woman who had survived Punishment Island because she was saying what would usually end up happening is the reason why they would kind of basically be willing to cut the daughter off is because she wouldn't be able to fetch a dowry after being not a virgin, proven not a virgin. So there's no point in keeping you anymore since we can't get a dowry, which is economic reasons. And so what would end up happening is men who couldn't afford dowries anyway would come to Punishment Island and try to find cheap, just like free wives.
Free. Wow.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
But it was actually kind of, well, the story I saw on the BBC, it was kind of sweet because she ended up marrying, her husband rescued her from the island and they ended up having 6 kids and just had a beautiful life together.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I think I found a little bit of something about it. I can definitely put this in the notes. But this is, I don't know what the website this is.
It's pretty hardcore though. I think one of the things they're in the news for right now is like they have really staunch anti-gay laws.
Uganda?
Yeah,
Really?
I think recently there was a thing where they were trying to pass a law where you could execute people for being gay, but they got a lot of blowback from the international community, so
Okay.
I'm not sure that got through, but that was really, really close to happening.
Dang.
So Uganda, I don't know what's going on, but maybe you guys could chill a little.
I mean, it just feels a bit like this article that I'm finding is from 2017, but it says up until the early 20th century for an unmarried girl who fell pregnant in a sleep town near, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, Beyonce, Lake Beyonce maybe. The thought of Punishment Island would have held her mind in sleepless nights. A tiny overgrown island with just 2 trees, one long dead, one alive, peeking out through the depths of the lake would be all that she could see through the mist as she made her way in the wooden canoe being rowed by her family to the place where she would be left to die. In these traditional societies, mountain people who historically inhabited the remote areas of Rwanda and Uganda, a young woman could only get pregnant after marriage. Pregnancy before marriage was seen as bringing shame to the family. That's not new. I feel like that's something that's old, like apparently everywhere. And with the virgin bride able to bring her father good price with livestock. And it was also seen as robbing a family of its potential wealth. So the consequences were brutal because obviously there you are on this island by yourself left to die. By not only, by everybody in your community who you know and love.
I think it also works as a threat to keep girls in line. Like, fuck around and find out.
So then, what if you're trying to mind your business, though? Because that's the one thing that, we've read lots of books that have this same kind of theme where it's like, whether you're in Pakistan or wherever, you could be walking minding your business and be a young woman and be physically assaulted. And maybe you're not actually choosing that for yourself.
I was thinking about that myself.
Yeah.
About how so very often around the world, sex is not always a choice for lots of girls and women.
Yeah. That's kind of
And
messed up.
especially if you're not given an education about sex and where pregnancy even comes from. Because just imagine, for very, very young girls, how frightening this must be. So,
Okay, so I think this might be a little bit of a story about it. I'm going to include this because this seems like a first-person account or something from
shout out
the
to all the
survivor.
survivors. Women are down bad in so many places around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it were better.
I do too. What did you think about the cinematography and the way that they chose to tell the story? Because I actually really was into it. I thought they did a really
gorgeous.
good job.
Once again, for it to be such a bummer, because I think I was calling this Black Mirror.
You were.
Okay.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Why were you calling it that?
Well, did you watch any of the other episodes?
Mm-mm.
They got more futuristic as it went on.
Okay.
And it just gives you this sort of diaspora dysphoria. What's it called when it's
Diaspora?
not just diaspora. What's it called when it's like a bad future, not a utopia, dystopia.
Oh, dystopian.
So
Got it.
it was gorgeous. Like I said, the opening scene was so beautiful. Every time, because I've watched it multiple times, and every time I watch it, I'm just struck by that scene.
Multiple times.
And I really love the actor who plays the fisherman. Like, he was very dynamic. He didn't say a lot. Also, not very sensitive. I get it. This is your job. You do this every day. But shaking her and saying your baby's dead isn't really maybe the best way to get a woman to calm down.
There's no good way to get a woman to calm down when you're trying to like save her life and hurry up and get her off an island.
They're
so
smacking her. He didn't even try smacking her.
He should have. That probably would have been more. Just splash some water in her face.
Heart. That was rough.
No, I don't think that that's your job at that point. Like, I get that point. But also, too, like, if you're, every job that we do every day, you do have to desensitize yourself. You can't be sitting there holding hands doing a kumbaya with this bitch. It's like, girl, we got to get the hell up out of here, okay?
I mean, if you're going to do that, then just don't even talk to her. He didn't have to just keep shaking her saying your baby's dead.
He didn't have to, but I'm not judging him because we don't know what kind of day he had.
Once again, he is like his whole
he
life
saved
is just
her,
saving
didn't he?
girls. That was the thing. I was reading some of the reviews on YouTube, and someone had made the comment about how they didn't like it because, well, not that they didn't like it, but one of the criticisms they have were like, well, how did he just happen to, basically saying it was just like too much of a coincidence that he was out there near the island and were able to rescue him. But I was like, I'm pretty sure that was his whole thing, was just rescuing them. He just fishes like while he does it.
I mean, to look unassuming. And also, too, I would imagine in a setting like that, like, everybody knows exactly what the hell is going on. It doesn't seem like a hugely populated area.
You kind of got to let people know for it to be a tactic to persuade women to not have sex outside of marriage.
Exactly. So, I mean, I would imagine
and because I would have definitely been sent to Punishment Island. I would have,
brought shame to your whole family.
Yeah, like, I got married after my kids were born, so that's not an option.
You fucked up the dowry. You brought shame to your family. I mean, I would have, you know what I mean?
I think about a lot of times, and this is a big share, but like the first time I had sex, my hymen didn't break. And
that is a big share.
That is. But later on it did.
Okay.
Like a couple times later, and I was like, well, damn, if I was in one of these societies where I had to prove my virginity, no, it wouldn't.
Oh.
Because on my wedding night, my hymen,
thought you were going somewhere else with that.
My hymen didn't break the first time I had sex. Yeah. So I wouldn't have even though I knew I was a virgin.
I would have just punched myself in the nose and...
First off, that is what a lot of women do, by the way, or just get a surgery to reconstruct it. But it's so many ways to get around it. But if you're a young girl and like you don't know that, like I'm like, oh damn, there would have been another way I might have possibly been murdered in a different society just because of my anatomy. Like it wasn't even like I even like broke the rules. It's just like it just so happens I'm the type of person whose hymen didn't break the first time.
I was up here thinking you were saying it like sweet. I mean, I got to have sex before my hymen broke and they didn't even know.
No.
Oh.
No, I was just thinking about how like horrible that could have played out in a society before. If I would have had to prove my virginity on my wedding night.
What a weird tradition, guys.
Because it would have been like people really do get like killed over that.
It's wild to think about.
It's sad to think about. It didn't have to be like that.
I liked the scene where she was she had insisted to learn how to shoot a gun. Yeah. And I really liked seeing her like lean into that.
She was assertive. I really liked Katera. There was some point when she was like, move. And I was like, oh yeah.
And I guess, I kind of felt like, because they didn't really say like how much time passed between the time that she had the miscarriage and she went to the island. I would imagine it was pretty quick. Did. Or did she? Or I don't remember what the time is. It's probably more accurate.
I feel like it was the same because she has the same dress on.
Oh, when she was getting beat up. Yeah. So that was same day.
That was same day. Because I like the part in the thing when she sees the guy from the village and he sees her. He's like, Katera, you're alive. And he was like, are these your children? She's like, it's only been 4 months. Just and she smushed him. I was just like, that was a very funny scene. I really related to that.
It's like, you have no idea how any of this works. That's real cute. Good for you. But yeah, I liked the cinematography. I liked the strong female lead character. Yeah, it just showed her being badass. It was giving me vibes of The Harder They Fall. Just from the standpoint of
Yes.
it was given like Western vibes because she had like the hat and
Because
the
she had to
gun,
ride.
and it was
They
like
had to ride on
yeah,
Gregory.
the way that they did some
Oh,
of
and I
that.
liked how they described Gregory, where he's his only job is pacifying the colonizers.
Ooh, that's a terrible
Yeah,
job.
because he was definitely was giving African warlord. He had the military outfit on and stuff, and Oxfords. I don't know what that's about. Like that's a very distinct look though. They were like epaulets and Oxfords.
What are epaulets?
Those little
The shoulder things?
Yeah, with the little
The shimmies
tassels.
on it? Oh, I didn't know that's what that's called. Shoulder shimmies. That's what those are called. Okay.
It's fun to learn things.
It
But
is.
yes, yeah, the
Epaulets.
epaulets and Oxfords. That could be like a buck.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, he sucked.
Yeah, he was kind of
It was satisfying seeing him get his comeuppance. I liked that the statue, like the fertility statue that she used to sink him because he had stolen that from her dad. And she was like, you know, my dad didn't have me until, because he had killed her dad. And he was like, yeah, I think it's perfect that, you know, my dad said the statue brought us to him, and now the statue's going to bring you to him. At the bottom of this lake, dude. 'Cause
Yeah,
you-
guys.
You had to go.
I
But it
like
looked
it.
like the Venus of Willendorf, which is a famous, like one of the oldest sculptures.
nice.
Yeah, and it was like, oh.
She was busty. I remember
She
that.
was busty.
Was
Once
she
again,
a
she's
fertility? Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, yeah, it's a whole thing. So yeah, I thought it was phenomenal, and then all of the rest of them were definitely to me worth the watch.
See, so you would recommend watching the whole thing? I need to finish it up. I definitely would. I feel like it's I like the idea of it being like a lot of different countries across the continent, and because you know you think African, it's like no, it's very it is not the same. I mean the same.
It's, what's the word they're always talking about? Diversity. That's it.
It's a buzzword these days, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with
they
it.
kind of like invented diversity.
Honestly, they say that like the tribes in Africa, there's more diversity between them than there are like in any other place in the
Countries and
world.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like,
there's so many
it's
different ethnicities and
Yeah, I always like the fact too that, you know, Africans don't consider themselves black. Like that's a very American way of thinking.
Yeah.
Like we make them black, but it's like they're like, no, I'm
just right. Whatever tribe I came from, that's
like
what I
I
am.
come from a people. So
Right. So nice try.
whatever your thing is, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, it was really cool, and then I liked learning that like it was a concerted effort, like that there was a project that was put in place to help support, you know, these artists create these stories. Because I feel like we talked about this last week, how a lot of times these are underrepresented stories, and I never heard of this, like Katera, Punishment Island. Like these aren't stories that I'm familiar with, so I like the idea of having these like beloved African folktales as, you know, reimagined stories that I can share with my kids and be aware of. And I also wonder how people from those places, like if you already knew these stories and then you watched them on Netflix, like I wonder what you thought about it. So like if you're somebody who's listening, like I'd love for you to like
'Cause
comment.
that was what was, oh my goodness, like, oh, I wish I could talk to you. One of them was it was a story about an ogre,
Okay.
but they mixed it into a domestic abuse tale.
Oh, nice.
But also made it kind of futuristic too. Like
So
it's
old school
very-
ogres meets Star
it
Trek.
was, oh, it's just done so well. But like I said, it was with that eye of like what, because I felt that way watching it. I was like, man, I wish I had a reference point for this before watching it,
Okay.
because I know there's probably so many, you know, Easter eggs.
Oh, all over, yeah. That you
that
have
I'm
no
not
idea.
picking up on.
Yeah.
And but I don't care. It was still the level I was able to access it. Amazing.
That's the part too, because I do think like, of course, there's stories, you know, like if I'm watching a medical drama, for instance, and they're hanging the X-rays backwards, I'm always like, man, this is me. You know, like I'm personally offended by it. So like I wonder how much of these stories is like, yo, this is just how it was when we grew up, and I like the creative liberties, or do you think it takes away? So if you guys are listening,
Oh, like
if
people
you're
flipping out about Little Mermaid. It's like I need her to be, you know,
that, yes, or even just the accents. You know, like if you're gonna have a Jamaican person, maybe we want to use a Jamaican person to do the accent so that it's more accurate. So like I wonder if there's parts of the story that people can't enjoy like they want to, because they feel like this is just so inaccurate or so far away from the original that I can't get my life together.
I usually can let stuff go, but I'm always in my mind gonna catalog it.
Absolutely, because think about the stuff that you like and enjoy that you can't like you want to, because you're like, I just know how
Yeah.
bad this actually is. You know what I mean?
You guys didn't try.
Some people feel like that
irritated
about
that.
Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, the books.
movies?
Yeah, because they're so different. Like you miss so much. So I think if you just like love the books and you see the movies, I could definitely see how you're like,
I don't
no.
think she wrote these books with cinematography in mind.
Nobody
like, that's the thing. Like she,
necessarily does.
Well, maybe as time went on because they were wildly popular, but like the first couple, like you can't get everything that's in a book in a movie.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir, friend. I enjoyed the
know.
movies, but for those people, I mean, I'm just using it
Yeah.
as an analogy because I get it, you know.
Those
It's
people.
like, yeah, you know, it'd be like that.
Them people.
So yeah, that was for me one of my favorite things. Let's see, what else about this struck me? I don't know. Like, it wasn't a very long episode. It was maybe like, was it 40 minutes? 42?
Yeah, they're not.
They were less than an
they're
hour.
Like short films. Like, yeah, it doesn't take too long to get through it. And to me, I'm so engrossed. But once again, like, once you start weaving a compelling narrative, I'm there. It was just like with
It was
the
good.
Joan is awful thing, where I'm just like, I'm like, what is going on? I must know the answers.
I just got to talk about that with two of our friends today. That was so funny. It was like, oh my, I just cracked up all over again just saying the plot point. Like, yeah, this is what actually, like, this is the, you know, storyline.
Well, and can we talk about that's partially why the writers and actors are on strike right now?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
We can definitely talk about that.
Yeah, the fact that they don't want to be replaced with AI. The writers are trying to get it in writing that you're not going to replace them with AI. And the actors are also like, hey, we do not want it to be possible for you to put into contracts that you can own my face and likeness to use throughout the universe in perpetuity.
That's nuts, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let's see.
Oh, because that was on a recent episode of The Righteous Gemstones. They made a hologram of Amy Lee Gemstone.
Oh, Lord.
And we're trying to bring her back. And it's just interesting to see the people who think they're like, that's a great idea. And the people who are like, this is an abomination.
The worst. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's creepy and weird and let that woman die.
Let her die. And then, like, when she has no say over how her
what
image
she
is.
says. 'Cause
Yeah,
to me,
it's
that's like,
like
just could you imagine like anyone can make you say anything?
No, I'd hate it.
I would hate that.
I don't think I'd like that at all. But yeah, I didn't, you know, like I just pulled up a little something about the Writers Guild strike. So that's been since May 2nd. I didn't realize it's been going on that long.
Really?
May 2nd, 2023.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We're on strike. Oh, good. You know what? Great. Oh, yeah. I knew the stage actors are the ones who just joined.
Okay.
Yeah, because it takes. Once again, people don't care about writers as much as actors.
Which
and
they
it's
should.
But actors are hot. We're always going to care more about hot people.
That is true.
That's why we cast them in movies.
That's
'Cause
crazy.
It's sadder when bad things happen to hot people.
My goodness. Well, if they're up there doing boring shit, nobody's going to care either, though. They're going to stop watching this
True.
stuff.
Oh, it was like, do you
You know?
remember when the pandemic first happened and they were like, a bunch of celebrities tried to record Imagine All the People or whatever? It was bad. Actors need writers is the moral of the story. We all need each other.
Oh my gosh, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Wasn't
hope
that-
they get together because now it's going to be weird. Like a lot of stuff's going to be delayed. There's going to be, but you know what that makes room for? Podcasters.
So guys, I don't know what you're
That's
doing.
the thing. Like the people can still go on podcasts. It's not a.
And trust me, there's no writing happening over here, honey. This is just, you know.
Definitely not me. You're right. You blog.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, you know, no real writing that anybody's.
You're not in the writers guild.
This is, yeah. So I don't have any of that. But yeah, I definitely.
Oh, because that's what I was saying too. I wanted to have Nira on to talk about that because I bet she has some really good insights.
Ooh, we should talk about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and she's out in LA right now too, and she's a writer. Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually really a great topic for her to get on. But what I know so far is that, you know, basically it's always a pay discrepancy. Like anytime you have any kind of union, you know, it's usually to protect the way that they pay you. And from what I understand, it's pretty bad. Like pennies to the dollar.
Yeah, they're playing games.
And I don't like
she's
it.
like, well, I don't know where we're supposed to find the money. And it's like, look, y'all, don't play me. It's like, well, that money's not in that column. I'm like, move it over. We've all budgeted before. You have to move sometimes stuff
But I
from one
don't
column
want
to another
to.
column. Especially if you're experiencing losses, you should be the ones to feel that. That's why you get paid so much.
No, that's why I'm a board member. That's why I'm at the top, so I don't ever have to feel that. And I will just crumble this company down to dust and wait it out.
This is the thing where he was like, I want people to start losing their homes and apartments.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and let your
Classy.
lives collapse, and then once you guys are real good and tired, maybe you'll play ball.
I think a desperate workforce always produces the best, results.
Yeah, and I mean, you keep messing around
I'm
like
kidding,
that.
by the way. I have to remember not all people can read sarcasm. I'm just kidding. I think the best work comes from people who are treated well and have something to lose. You don't want people to be like, well, I ain't got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. And
Those
then
are the worst kind of humans.
discontentment on top of that. And desperation, because now I've lost, like my livelihood. And I don't know what makes it seem regular to people who have, I mean, you're holding, to me, you would think that like, okay, these people are helping me make money. Like, I want to make sure that they want to keep doing that with me.
I would think so. But also,
'Cause the
sometimes
quality
people
goes
just
down.
want all the things.
Okay,
I
well,
think some people can't help it. It's compulsion. And also just the way capitalism works. Like, you never feel like you have enough money.
that part, it's really sad. I hate it a lot. And I hope that they can come to an agreement that actually doesn't, like, that's not totally insulting.
I also wonder if this is going to make way for more international content here in America, though, because once again, the Writers Guild and Stage Actors Guild, that's here in America. Like, people in other countries are still going to be making content. Korea, I'm looking at you.
Oh,
They make. I just know
My
a lot
kids
of the
love those
films
Korean
on the K-pop or the K-dramas.
even Young Woo, Attorney Young Woo. My daughter's really into that right now. Like, I've watched those. Like, if she wants to sit and watch something, we have to sit and watch Young Woo.
So cute. I like a lot of the stuff on I don't watch a lot of the series. I tend to like the movies.
Okay.
But actually,
seen a few.
Kingdom was really good series. And it was even
Really?
zombies.
Really?
And I was able to watch it. It was so good.
Shut up.
But speaking of Asians,
I feel like this could go wrong.
no, it's great. Ali Wong's show Beef on
Oh,
Netflix.
yeah,
I
I
consumed a lot of media. Listen, guys, I took like some me time.
Beef.
And it turns out when I have me time, I like watching Netflix. And so it
She's
was a
so
limited
cute.
series. She did a limited series called Beef. So it's like 10 episodes. And it was crazy because my daughter wanted to watch it. And so we started watching it while I was braiding her hair, and it was perfect because it worked out the exact amount of time.
Yeah.
But it was because she's playing, I think not Vietnamese. Her husband's Japanese. The guy she's in a beef with is Vietnamese. Was he Korean? No, she was Vietnamese and he was Korean. The guy she was in the beef with. But it was interesting seeing like the different, you know what I mean? Like where it's not just Asian. Like
We got to see a little bit of like what makes
it's kind of like when you say African.
Sure,
like,
we were just talking
it's
about
such
that.
a blanket term.
It is. And what does that mean
But
exactly?
but it was very Asian. Like
What's crazy is I didn't recognize that. I mean, were they? Because I want to say I don't even think I saw the full first episode, but I don't remember there being like a lot about what they're
Oh, you saw the first episode
they're
of
back.
Beef?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get into it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
So I
a lot
missed
of
that part.
flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
Because you got to learn how their characters got here. But yeah, it starts with the road rage thing.
Yes.
And it is amazing. Like the whole time I'm watching the series, I'm like, this just all started from road rage. Everybody could have just drove home.
Just chilled.
None of this
could have
had to
pulled over,
happen.
let just.
I'm
move.
gonna stop talking because I'm gonna give spoilers. And
Oh, yeah,
the
we're-
best part is the surprises.
We already ruined one series or one episode of one series. I guess we won't do that.
That's
yet.
what we do.
We do.
But
It's
hopefully
fine.
you'll still want to watch it. Like I've watched it knowing what's gonna happen several times and still enjoyed it.
And we always miss so much too.
It's
The nuance is still
visually
important.
rich. Like I said, I'm always looking for hints because it doesn't come out and say stuff. Like I said, like if you're not paying attention, you might wonder, like, how did he know to, get these girls out of there? 'Cause like I said, like the way he's acting, like obviously he does this. Like no man
Back
is
in
just gonna be like,
Katera,
"Oh,
Punishment
come over
Island,
here. Hey, you want to get my boat? No, he was.
I do hate that though. Like I hate when it's like so. But I mean, how? So now we're just.
What I
But-
took from it was that his mother was an escapee from that island.
Yeah, probably that would make sense.
Yeah. And started this basically
It's like
refugee
here we are
program.
now, exactly. So, which is why I'm here helping. But it just seemed pretty like okay, this is what he's here doing.
Yeah.
So, but
Really well. And the action. Like the last scene was like Rambo, Die Hard action.
that's the part that kind of reminded me of the. This means, guys, for everyone, I'm doing the gun fingers.
Harder they fall.
The harder they, yeah. Kind of reminded me of,
Like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yes, indeed, friends. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add about this show? I feel like.
Let me see if I
know
have
you got
notes.
some
I don't
notes.
think I even took notes. They were all brain notes because I was just so
Not brain
effusive about
notes.
it. I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, so overall, friend, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It is getting a little warm though, so maybe we could take a quick break and come right back.
I like that idea.
All right, cool. Be right back. Okay, guys, so welcome back from the break. Yep, we did it. We did it, friends.
Did.
I don't know. I was wondering, did you have anything else to add about honestly, you watched the whole thing, which I didn't. What can people expect?
Series.
Yeah, like what could people expect if they are tuning in to see this?
Like the roots of misogyny. Because you know how we always say everything comes from Africa?
Not the roots.
As it turns out, so did misogyny.
Whoa.
So they kind of nailed it. You can tell they're the
Wow.
OGs of it. So that's a constant theme through each and every series.
So you're giving the continent of Africa the crown of misogyny right now. Is that what we're doing?
Unfortunately,
Damn.
yeah.
Sorry
I mean,
about
a lot
that.
of people did it, but I don't think anybody did it better or more thoroughly. But there's always that resistance. Like I
Okay.
said, no one's just laying down and taking it. Like that's where the inspiration is. We're calling it out. We're not putting up with it. But to me, it is hard watching it because it's like, damn.
It's painful. Like,
Because you want, as an American Black person, you want Africa to be perfect. Because America's so hard on you. There's this idea, because America's always told you, it's like, yeah, you're from Africa, you're from Africa. And yes, part of us is from Africa, and really of everyone. But there's also, because of how American slavery went down, there's we call it the diaspora because we're all over the place and we're all kinds of things. And so to me, growing up, whenever I'd hear stories about Africa, I would get excited. I'd be thinking like, oh my goodness, this is somewhere I could go and be free and be accepted and have a people. And then when I'm learning about it, I'd have been like, oh, they really aren't with women. It's changing, but historically, it hasn't been safe.
Well, that's funny because I think with me growing up, I mean, I didn't hear much positive about Africa. I never thought my people were there. I mean, I don't know what I thought. I don't know if I thought I could actually go there, but I also, you do get sold a certain narrative about Africa not being as developed and
third world.
Yeah, like everybody there's destitute. There's no urban areas being built up. Yeah, flies and stuff like that around kids. And people raising money for these poor, like it was just all very like poverty porn ish, and it was really like, I mean, I didn't have a lot of positive associations until like I met people from there or started actually reading up on it, just outside of, just the normal stuff that you see. So I'm grateful for those stories because I do think that they've got to be tired of being lumped in, but just like you're saying, I mean, it's not all good or all bad,
It's
but.
painful.
Yeah, it's just like everywhere else, people doing stuff, and
But I think they're definitely worth watching. To me, it's like I said, since we've read so many books about this part of the world, especially because I think there's two of the stories take place in like a Muslim world view. Because the last one is about a jinn, and actually it creeped me out. I gotta tell you, and I think that was the purpose. But it was hard. That one was kind of hard to watch.
So people what a jinn is, we know.
Oh, so it's like a demon spirit, or kind of like a genie. Like that's the genealogy of like jinn. I think genie might be plural or singular. I don't know. Like I'm not exactly sure the mechanics of Arabic. Honestly.
What?
I gotta be honest.
Why don't you read a book or something?
But yeah, jinn would basically, because I think that predates Islam, the concept of jinn, like sort of these desert demons that plague people.
That sounds really frightening.
It does. Oh man, there's one that really gave me kind of like Black Mirror Upload vibes. about a young girl who was basically kind of being forced into an arranged marriage. And once again, we accept that so much in society. And I'm not talking about arranged marriages where both parties are agreeing to it. I'm talking about arranged marriages where young girls are forced to marry to old men. They don't like it.
No.
It doesn't matter that it's a tradition and it's going to make your dad rich. Like, nobody likes hearing this, but it's crepe.
And I just feel like it's so dehumanizing to just sum up,
as crepe often is,
an entire, like, a person's entire existence to this one transaction. It's like, well, you can either bring value to your family or fail us horribly.
Yeah, and to the point where we
will kill you. Like, I mean, we will make sure you die if you don't perform this very specific duty. It's very disheartening.
Because she had a line about that where she's like, I repeat, where a girl's her virginity is put over her human worth. Mm-hmm. That's not cool.
It's not. We don't like it here at the Fat Podcast, but
no. But there's still joy. I don't want to be a bummer.
Not too late. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bummed. So yeah, I'm gonna give Katera of Punishment Island 5 out of 5 Venus of Willendorf statues.
Ooh, fertility goddess. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna give it 4.5 shotguns.
Okay.
Or maybe the bullets.
There you go.
Yeah.
That got the point across.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that last scene was... Oof.
It was really good.
I wish the fish... Well, sorry. I mean, we spoiled everything else.
Then don't say it.
Well, I already said it, though, because he sacrificed himself. That's what that means.
Okay.
So, I wish he didn't have to die. I wanted him to... He didn't?
He didn't have to.
Thank you. Oh.
But he did.
Oh. I thought you were rewriting it, or maybe there was like a secret out or something like that.
They decided to kill him.
Sometimes people get shot in the movie, but they didn't die, and like they got shot and they
it's
fell
like,
off
he
hill.
came back. Yeah, he came back.
And then it's like, oh no,
yay! Okay,
and
cool.
They come
we
back
just
and shoot
did
somebody.
It. Yeah, that's
we
what
did
we're
it.
saying.
That's what happened, guys.
That's what actually happened. So maybe you'll have to watch to find out if we're lying or not. But no, I overall thought it was really good. I will make time to go back and rewatch these. Not rewatch them. Probably rewatch that first one, but also take in the other ones. Because when I'm reading about them, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
this looks good.
Once again, I really want to get more into, because like I said, even the fairy tales folklore we're accustomed to is European.
I know.
So
it's nice.
I would like to learn more African and Asian like folklore.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and it's funny too, because I feel like if I introduce my kids to stuff like that they've never heard of, they're always like, "That's weird." I'm like, "Is it weirder?
You're weird.
Is that weirder than Santa Claus coming down? Like, think about if you never heard of that in your life. I mean, everybody's
putting candles on a birthday cake,
or any
of it.
Think
about how weird that is if you've never seen that.
Super weird.
Imagine like you're 30, the first time you see people put candles on a cake, light them on fire, sing a song, tell a kid to make a wish and blow them out. That's a magic spell.
It's pretty weird. And then imagine being one.
That's why the kids
they're
cry
always looking
so
like,
much.
what the hell is going on
like,
here? It's like, and everybody's looking at me and singing.
Yes, it's all focused and terror. I was just
weird.
talking about it.
Yeah.
But actually, once you get used to it, it's pretty fabulous.
It's just one of those things that you get used to. So, yeah, I like the idea of normalizing some of these stories.
Time one of our friends was turning 25, and we bought actual sparklers to put on the cake instead of the sparkler candles.
Oh, and they didn't go out?
And we smoked out your house. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. That was fun.
That was memorable.
That was,
We didn't know enough. Listen.
You got to start somewhere.
We survived it.
We did. That was fun. Good times. I forgot all about that.
I did it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I remember it was a cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. It was an Oreo cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory.
The fact that you
still ate
that.
it. Everything was fine.
What
We
I
just
was
opened
gonna
the
say,
windows and we were fine.
We made it work.
Just so you know, no one ever told me. Just so you guys know, whenever you see those sparklers on cakes, like get those at like Michael's. Like don't go to the fireworks store. Those aren't the ones. You can't do those indoors. There's specialty.
Seems so obvious now.
It does.
Wow.
It does.
Okay.
But a lot of times I have to remember that, especially with dealing with kids. Like they don't know.
It's like seemed like a great idea. I didn't realize it was.
Yeah.
My God. Okay. Well, guys. I guess we should spin the wheel now. Otherwise, we're just rambling. So spin it. Oh, yeah. Now, this is going to be fun. The Barbie movie.
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, my gosh. This is gonna be fun. I have not seen this yet, friend.
Oh, and this will give me an excuse because I want to see it again. So I think I probably will. I mean, shout out to Barbie. She broke records.
Let's go.
I don't think they were expecting it to make as much money, but if nothing else, Barbie has always made money.
Barbie is money.
Yeah, that's what you have to learn. Like, that's the secret.
Quit
like,
playing with the doll. Okay?
I don't work jobs. I am a job.
Amen. Let's see, Barbie. Okay, yeah. Wait a minute. What is
Who
this?
was the director for that? Like, that'll be interesting to find out. Like, there's a lot. I know Margot Robbie. It's starring Margot Robbie, who's fantastic. She's also Harley Quinn. She's the doll. And then Issa Rae is President Barbie.
As she should be.
As she should be. And she is like
if I had her as a child, I would have liked Barbie.
You think so? Yeah.
Because
probably,
they never captured the natural beauty of it. It was like,
you know
very
what's funny? I have a Barbie right now who has your braids.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, I might throw it up here now.
So cute.
Yeah, because Barbie, for one, now she's, because like I'm an adult and I can buy Barbies whenever I want. So sometimes I do. And they sell them at Meijer, and that's where I do my grocery shopping. So every once in a while, I haven't done it in a while, but every once in a while, I just still go down the toy aisle. And if there's a Barbie I want, I buy it. I bought a really great Barbie. She has like a big fro. And like, she's not as busty as regular Barbie, and she's thicker in the thighs. And I was like, and she had like, gold hoop earrings. I was like, I like this.
I see myself.
I see myself reflected, and she had on flats.
Very nice. She's practical and beautiful.
She is. But the face, like, I know what you're talking about though, because a lot of times the black Barbie, they weren't trying. And like I said, it was just very, now they come in different flavors. Like I remember one time, because, also shout out to Gem and the Holograms. I read an article online about an Asian woman who the first doll she ever got that looked like her was Aja from Gem and the Holograms. Ooh. And how it was such a big deal that her mom bought it for her, because generally her brother got everything because they favored the boys in the family.
Okay.
But it was so great to finally get something where not only did your mom think about you, but also whoever developed this toy was like, you know what? Asian girls.
Like, thank you.
Yes. And Aja was the shit.
Oh my gosh, not Aja, but yeah, it's a big deal though when you get your dolls and you feel like, okay, these are my people. It's very nice.
But I was still always totally into Barbie. I fell hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, Barbie's a fave. I'm super excited. The director is Greta Gerwig.
Okay, well, go Greta. I really enjoyed it. It was shot really well. There's so many fun tropes about playing with Barbies that came up. It's nice to know that was universal.
Heck
it's very, and actually, I don't want to ruin it for you because the first scene made me think of you.
Yay! Oh my god!
And you'll immediately know why.
Okay, I can't wait. That's gonna be fun, and then hopefully I can get my life together because I would like to dress up or at least be wearing pink.
I feel like you're always bringing Barbie.
Yes.
Guys, agree with me on this one. You're so put together. Throughout your whole life, that's your ethos.
Barbie.
Of course, you can always turn it up to 10.
That's what I like.
But you're always at a 9.25. But listen, getting up to that extra 0.75 is an extra that takes some gas.
Well, aren't you sweet? Okay, you see why I keep her around, you guys. It's very nice.
Like I said, we're podcast Barbies today.
Yay! This is so fun.
Which should be a thing. Is there a podcast? Chat real quick. Ask your magic rectangle.
I could definitely do that. And
I feel like there should definitely, because there's not enough women podcasters. Women.
And that's what everybody needs is their very own podcast and Barbies.
How do women not have more podcasts? Once again, the thing we never have a problem with is coming up with content. We have lots and lots of problems, but we have 99 problems, but talking isn't one.
Show ain't. Well, I see. No, I don't see anything like that.
See, Mattel, and we're diverse.
It's make Barbies of us now, okay? Do it.
And it'll be easy accessories because all you need is basically headphones. And people get it. As soon as you show headphones and sound waves, people are like, podcast.
Right. And little girls really care.
But they should.
They should. We're trying to introduce them to the possibilities of their lives. It's you guys could too be middle-aged women who start a podcast. and
Life
like
in
it.
the pod house.
Yeah. In the pod house, in the pod house.
No,
Oh my
you're doing the
gosh.
loud house.
I know.
I was doing Barbie's Life in the Dream House.
Okay. Well, I was doing my thing.
It's a
I
mashup.
wasn't. Yeah. I never know the original, so it always turns into a medley. You guys are welcome.
Roundhouse was dope though.
It was funny.
That was a very funny
Had nothing to do
cartoon.
with Barbie, other than he had lots of sisters. I'm sure one
were
of them had
blonde?
Barbies. Boom, there you go. I'm sure they liked Barbie and they were blonde. So, yeah, guys, lots to look forward to next week. I'm super excited to talk about Barbie, get Barbied up.
Here's what I've been wanting to tell people.
What's that, friend?
Everybody right now, go to your little platform, your iTunes platform or Apple iTunes, whatever, and write a review. Tell them how you feel about us so more people can find us. Don't you want other people to feel the way you feel right now?
You should. I like that. That's a good idea. Definitely share this podcast, you guys. The reviews do help us a lot. It's something we can point to when we're trying to link
even
up with
more?
people. Say that again.
What helps even more?
I would say our Patreon.
I would agree with you.
You should join it.
Please, immediately,
Definitely.
if not sooner.
That's true. And
And
it's
there's
just
different
fun.
tiers. You don't have to give us like all your money,
Nope.
but enough to keep us like above water. I don't know if you guys knew this, but everything became more expensive this year. Everything.
Check your grocery bills. I know. Listen, what about that light bill? Who wants to holler at me about that light bill?
And speaking of which, let's turn all these lights off and leave now.
Listen. Okay, this is why.
It's so expensive.
It is. So yeah, you guys, if you just want to support, I mean, that's a great way to do it. But definitely share, subscribe to the podcast. Check us out on social media. Interact with us, you guys. We love hearing from you. And hopefully you enjoyed the episode today. You guys definitely go check out the African Folktales Reimagined on Netflix. I enjoyed that first one. I'm going to be watching the rest. So I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for the recommendation, friend.
Thank you. And thank you
came
for
through.
thinking, like, giving my little treat. That was
You're
so
welcome,
nice.
friend. You're welcome.
And yeah, and for coming here, like, off of, this is like you came here right off of the road. This
Got
is
the rockstar glasses on, honey.
lifestyle.
Rockstar podcast Barbie. Okay, that's what it is. Who almost lost her voice. And okay, just, yeah, it was a lot going on, but had to show up for the people, you guys. So hopefully, you'll come back again next week.
I think they will.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezene M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.